Welcome everybody to the 2022 BMW i4. Yes, this is the i4, which means it's electric, fully electric, not even plug-in hybrid or anything. This is BMW's crack at the electric sedan segment, which is mostly dominated by the Teslas around here. Let's see how this attempt of BMW at the electric cars market is. Front end, where do I start? It's a bit controversial. Some people like it, some people don't like it. This design element that BMW has adopted for many of their cars, especially the 4 Series, the M4, and even the SUVs nowadays, the X7, and the bigger brother of this i4, the iX. They have big grills. This is pretty big as well. Some like it, some don't. I personally love the way this car looks, and especially with this gloss black grille, because this is the EV, so it has no need of any ventilation to the engine or the radiators or anything. So it's a closed grille, and I think it looks really good. Small elements, on the grille go a long way. And can I not mention the headlights? The headlights look so good. The DRL especially looks so aggressive, and they just bring a lot of charm to the front end. Personally, I'm a big fan of the way this car looks from the front. The side profile of the i4 is where the resemblance with the 4 Series kicks in even more. You can see the rear C-pillar is very slanty to give it that coupe, in fact grand coupe design element. It looks really good, but I'm sure the rear passengers would have headroom compromise. There is no way that with that roofline people would have so much ample headroom. The side profile is really nice, typical design sedan silhouette, and the alloy wheels, the rims look really good as well. These are 18-inch rims, but there are option 19 rims for the higher variants, the M50. But yeah, otherwise it's a very good looking car. You've got some side elements on the side skirts as well, blacked out elements, perhaps to give it a bit lesser drag, and yeah, I mean that all helps with better range. Again, BMW just knows how to design a car so well, and I like the way this car looks from the side as well. The rear of the i4, again, it's very stylish. You've got nice LEDs, and in fact, the taillights look really sharp. You've got a sort of a diffuser sort of look in the rear. You do feel like there are cutouts for exhausts, but there are no exhausts. It's actually completely empty. Perhaps this is part sharing with the 4 Series, which actually has an active exhaust. The diffusers actually go up pretty high, and as you can see, the boot is really small, but this is sort of a notchback. So when you open the boot to get access to the very big cargo area, you can put in lots of stuff. The glass goes up as well with the tailgate. So again, the opening is really big. It's easy to load stuff in. Again, very nice thinking by BMW, and in fact keen watchers will notice that since this is an electric version, the emblem, the BMW emblem, has a blue halo around it. So if you see one on the road, you know it's electric. You've got eDrive 40 and i4 badging to let you know what it is. This is the variant eDrive 40. There is an mDrive 50, which is even more fast, but it has lesser range. Depends on your priorities. As I said, I like the way this car looks from the rear as well. Now I'm inside the BMW i4, and you can see the interior is very much typical BMW. The steering wheel is a very familiar place, and the center console as well. If you've been in other BMWs, you would feel just at home. The only difference because now it has been introduced into more models, but this was one of the first models to have the one uniform, very big curved screen. Honestly, I've seen different iterations of the speedometer and the iDrive screen on different BMWs over the years, and this is personally my best. It's like my most favorite. Honestly, the fluidity, everything is just top notch, and the crispness of the details on the speedometer is perfect. You have lots of details, and it looks really good. The steering is very familiar. It's got all the familiar buttons, so you know what you're doing. The gear lever is very similar. The center console, you've got the big storage as well with the USB port, cup holders, and a wireless charging tray. And it's a very minimalistic theme. The one thing I don't like is that they've been a little too minimalistic. In fact, they've removed the AC controls. So the only way to change anything on the AC temperature front is to play through the screen, which I personally don't like. You have to play with the blowers and everything. I don't like it. It's very distracting, especially when you're driving. It's easy to change the temperature, but that's it. You can't actually play around with this while driving, especially fan speed, or you want to change the circulation mode. It's really, really annoying. But yeah, otherwise it's nice. The seats are really comfortable. Some BMWs have not been able to find a comfortable place. My back starts hurting after a long drive. Not the case with this. You sit a little higher on this. If you set too low, the steering doesn't come down as much, so it feels a bit awkward. So you have to sit a bit upwards by force. The sunroof is pretty big, and yeah, overall the ambience is really nice. The finish, the everything you feel. There's no gloss black, so there's no fingerprint magnet here. I love this material they have used here, this aluminum sort of finish, and aluminum with the leather and the white stitching, and obviously the ambient lighting, which is obviously customizable. You can change it to a variety of colors. I personally love. Honestly, can't fault here. Just everything feels spot on inside here. Now I'm in the rear seat of the i4, and you can see not the best place to be in the car because this of the coupe lines. Headroom is quite compromised. I'm 5'8", and as you can see, there's that much space. Ideal for me, but anybody taller than me would definitely brush their hand. That's not a that's not a good place to be. Legroom, the driving seat is for my driving position, and there's enough knee room. Under thigh support is a bit on the lesser side, and your knees are you're actually sitting knees up, which might not be comfortable for everyone. Even the backrest is slightly on the upright side. Perhaps this is to maximize boot space, which is plenty, to be very honest. You can take all your luggage. But yeah, otherwise, even the windows, because of the coupe look that they're going for, the 4 series, which essentially this is what is based on, has small windows, and it carries forward here. It might feel a bit claustrophobic because of the all black dark interiors here and small windows and no panoramic sunroof. Not the best place to be. You do have an armrest that comes down, and you have cup holders which open up, and you've got AC controls in the back. It's single zone and 2 type C ports, no type A ports here. This car is really futuristic. But yeah, otherwise you can spend hours in the back, but probably as a strict 4-seater. The transmission hump, the middle hump, is really big, so the 5th person, although there's a headrest, is not welcome here. Behind the wheel of the i4, let's see how this car drives. So let's get the numbers out of the way. Firstly, this has a 83.7 kilowatt per hour battery, which helps it give 340 horsepower and 430 Nm of torque. This particular car is rear wheel drive, not X drive, which is pretty funny. The first time I've seen a rear wheel drive BMW so far in Canada. Helps this car go from 0 to 100 in under 6 seconds, which is pretty punchy, and you do feel it when you drive it. Slot the traditional gear lever, BMW gear lever, into drive, and you're off. And this being EV, no noise, no nothing, you're off. It's just so easy. Minor tap on the throttle and you're already on your way, so smoothly, so comfortably. It's uncanny. This is what I love about all electric vehicles, to be honest, and this is no different. It just pulls so nicely. The only thing you hear is the road noise, the tire noise, which is the Hankooks, which are known to be a little bit on the noisy side. But again, it's not too intrusive, so it's nice. No wind noise from the roof. Everything is nice, composed. The driving position is very nice. You sit really high, actually. If you sit too low, I particularly found that the steering didn't adjust very well, so you might have to work around adjusting your seat according to that. But otherwise, it's really nice, and it's so smooth, and you're doing easy speeds. Range is estimated to be about 380, 390 with mixed driving, and I think I will hit roughly that figure, which is pretty commendable because claims are made by a lot of manufacturers for different things. And yeah, I mean, overall it just feels nice. The ride on the stiffer side, but very typical BMW. You hear very minor thuds, and that's all. You don't actually hear too much noise of the bumps, which is again very, very nice. The insulation is top notch, and yeah, it's just super nice. I have the regenerative braking on, so I don't actually have to brake that much, and I can put the gear lever into the brake mode. So there's BRND and then B, so that's like full on one pedal drive that they say. It's really, really nice. Honestly, it's so easy driving this car in city, highway, everywhere. And then you come to corners, and I'm in Eco Pro, but if I put into sport mode, and you can hear something, so that engine, or the lack of engine, the battery noise, if I can say, is sort of this sort of noise that BMW has made with the famous musician Hans Zimmer, and it's just basically noise to make sure, that make that driving experience better. So if you floor it, and you can hear the whole orchestra, the tune, it's really nice. And obviously when you slam on the brakes, it's regenerative braking, so it charges the car for you. Overall, can't fault it. Honestly, I personally love BMWs, and this one drives no different. In conclusion then, the BMW i4. Well, it's BMW's attempt to take on, let's be honest, the Tesla Model 3. And well, I think it's a pretty good attempt. I've not driven a Model 3 yet, but I hope I do drive one soon. But for what I can understand by driving this car, I think this car drives really, really well. Plus it has the BMW brand credential as well. Let's be honest, BMW has value over a Tesla badge any day of the week. And this being essentially a 4 Series, so it handles well, it rides well, it's got good equipment, and it looks pretty good as well, according to me. At $72,000 Canadian, this very car with this spec and these rims and all the options, I think it's priced very similarly to an equivalent Model 3. Which one would you have? I might just take this because the BMW fanboy in me wouldn't let me choose a Tesla.